Season 9 is right around the corner, which means it's time for our regularly scheduled list of uncompromisable demands from Epic Games. What warrants us to be in a position to demand things from Epic Games, the company that have made us and built us entirely? Nothing. Also, we like complaining. Anyway, since that is my only explanation and reasoning as such, Epic Games have openly stated in response to our behavior that after careful consideration, they will not be catering to a single one of our whims and are tired of our, well, you know, they're tired of our, and instead will be increasing the size of Thanos' butt cheeks in the endgame LTM. Mr. Krabs, you might have some competition, but so will Epic if they don't add these top 5 things that they need to have in Season 9. Also, use code T5G in the item shop when purchasing any new items and join the Discord if you haven't. Number 10. More rewarding tier 100 skins. It's no secret that this season's Lux skin was a bit of a disappointment for the community. We really appreciate getting our first female tier 100 skin, but compared to the other tier 100 skins throughout the other seasons, a lot of the community feel as though she could have been given a bit more attention. As of now, you can only get a few cosmetics and some color-changing outfits, but is that it? For a Season 8 tier 100 skin? When you look back on some of the early max tier skins, then it seems okay. In Season 2, we got Black Knight, and he didn't come with anything except a shield. Season 3 brought us the Reaper, which only came with a matching glider, but that's when Fortnite began to evolve their tier 100 skins on a different level. Season 4's Omega gave us different stages of armor, our first alternative to standard cosmetics. Season 5 decided to go Super Saiyan with a new transforming werewolf skin called Dire, which had multiple different stages. Season 6 continued this with the transforming Ragnarok skin. It seems like Fortnite have been continuously evolving their tier 100 skins as the game grows, yet in the past couple seasons, they've seemed to have hit a rut, so to speak. In Season 7 and Season 8, both the Ice King and Lux only have a few color-changing alternatives and some extra unlockable cosmetics. I think people let it slide with the Ice King as we were all hyped for him anyway after everything he was doing in the Battle Royale storyline. But Lux is new, and yet as a tier 100 skin, she's not that different from most other skins. For tier 100s, Fortnite showed us unique and innovative skins we'd all love to have, but now it's just another generic skin with its normal set of cosmetics. Where's the uniqueness that Fortnite have given us with their evolution of the tier 100 skins? Number 9. Permanent gifting. So we had confirmation about gifting all the way back in June of last year, but it wasn't until November that they managed to get their first trial week for gifting up and running. Some were expecting a trading system like it's Pokemon, but it was way simpler. You could pop into the item shop, choose to buy one of the skins, cosmetics, or dances, and send them to a friend. Gifting has been out a few times now, but it's always for about a week or so, which makes me wonder if there's something Fortnite need to maintain or be cautious of with gifting. It was out during the Valentine's holidays with the hashtag Share the Love, and it's also released for another limited time on the 3rd of April. The thing is, hasn't gifting been through enough testing already? And why is it that they don't just make it permanent? If gifting was permanent, then we would get an awesome feature while Epic Games got to make even more money. It's a win-win for everyone. Well, we think so anyway. But just do it, Epic. Just make it permanent already. What are you waiting for? Number 8, a new map or more big map changes. So who watching has been playing Fortnite since the early seasons? If I was to say back in Season 1 that we'd be getting a giant iceberg, desert biome, volcano, and interdimensional butterfly dimension, you'd probably look at me a little strange. But to think that we got such drastic changes was something I doubt anybody really suspected would happen at first. Map changes are something heavily debated in Battle Royale games. Should a map evolve? Should we just get different maps? Or will it stay relatively the same? The problem with PUBG, with changing up all of the different maps, is that once they added in a new map, it kind of split the community in half, and so the player base kind of trickled away and started to play the game less and less because there was just so much that people needed to memorize and that sort of things, and it doesn't really cater to as wide a demographic as where anyone, both pro and casual players, are able to hop on and enjoy this map because they're familiar with it. In all honesty, new maps are something we've seen often, but actually evolving the map itself is fairly uncommon. However, Fortnite's storyline has entwined with their map evolution beautifully, continuously bringing us something new. But what would you like to see next? The map's getting fairly full. Should Fortnite continue to evolve this map, or do you reckon they should add a whole new different island? The only space that hasn't had too much change is the northwest section of the map around Pleasant Park, so I definitely reckon Fortnite could spruce that area up a bit. I mean, I love the volcano and everything. It's a ton of fun, but it's just a volcano. Maybe a new city would be a nice touch. Number 7 is the opening of the infamous bunkers. So back in Season 4, we had a small closed bunker appear in the Wailing Woods. Now, for a lot of Battle Royale games, this could just be added scenery. But Epic Games had just started showing the whole storyline to the Battle Royale island with the comment. Nearly everyone was trying to figure out what part of the story this bunker could fit into. Now, it was completely locked up originally. People found a few glitch methods to break their way in, but there was no known legitimate methods of getting in. After the hype died down a little bit, the inside of this bunker actually got an update, adding more grass to the floor. Like many people, we assumed there must be something up with this bunker if they're updating it, but once again, though, we couldn't figure out anything more. Eventually, Season 7 rolls around, and with the new ice biome, a new identical bunker appeared on a lone island to the south. Although again, we we couldn't get in. Even with the Season 8 volcano wiping the northeast side of the map, the bunker has somehow managed to survive. Surely they wouldn't go to so much trouble for just a bit of scenery. We've been waiting for 4 seasons now, and it's like we're following tiny bits of bait along the way. We're dying to figure out what will happen with these bunkers. Let's just hope it wasn't a wild goose chase. Number 6 is more extensive competitive mode with better anti-cheat. Cheating is going to be something we can almost unavoid in public games. Even with the best of anti-cheats, there's always going to be some that slip through the gaps. In all honesty, in a public match, I've gotten used to encountering the odd cheater once in a blue moon, especially when a game's new. I'm sure you remember the crazy amount of hacks and cheats going on back in the early days of Fortnite. Holy guacamole, there was a lot of cheaters. So how come we're hearing so much about cheating in competitive tournaments? I get it happens in pub match sometimes, but surely in a 40 million prize tournament, they can have a more reliable and effective system in place. In the World Cup qualifiers, we had Tfue gain top spot, and with second place coming in by a player called XXIF. Now, he wasn't using hacks, but was reportedly working with other players to gain himself more points, often known as teaming, which is against the rules. Fortnite's response to this was to follow standard procedure, a 14-day ban for teaming, although this means that he can still compete in the tournament in a couple weeks. If the allegations are true, which Fortnite seem to have confirmed themselves, then this player has managed to cheat his way into a tournament, unfairly making someone else lose out on that opportunity. A lot of pro players are scared that this will encourage first-time teamers to cheat for tournaments, knowing that if they do get caught, they'll be fine in a couple of weeks and still be able to go for some of that cash prize. In all honesty, if someone was found to be 100% cheating, no matter how small, they should be banned from the tournament, and the next qualifying player that didn't make it should be given an invitation. But that's just my opinion. What do you think would be the best solution? Number 5 is the melting event at Polar Peak. Ever since we first saw the iceberg and snow-like biome introduced to the map, we pretty much all knew that Polar Peaks was going to be melting away and revealing more below. You'd almost see the layers of the ice that would melt away, and a few map glitches had revealed actual structures below the ice that had yet to be seen. Sure enough, we saw a small castle courtyard appear at first with the Infinity Blade. It melted further to reveal the prison and dragon eggs within. And finally, we saw the prisoner released from its bottom. But is that really the last stage? There's a lot more to this Polar Peak iceberg, and they could easily be hiding more within. Another accidental glitch shows that there's still something there. It seems like it's not textured properly, but the pink markings look very similar to the old Kevin the Cube rooms. Maybe it's nothing, but you never know. Not only that, but I'm sure there would be plenty of players who would love to see the area melt enough that Greasy Grove showed up again. Number 4, a Blitz Mode should return as a full-time game mode. Back in the first couple seasons of Fortnite, they introduced an LTM called Blitz. This game mode was a super fast-paced version of a normal Battle Royale match. First circle would have already spawned as soon as you rode in. Circles are quicker and matches last for a maximum of 15 minutes. You had increasing harvesting and there was a higher chance of better loot. It's been out for a limited time since then, but a lot of the community feel that this would be a great permanent game mode. The fast-paced action is something a vast majority of Battle Royale players enjoy. It's half the effort, but with just as much or even more fun. Thinking about it though, why haven't they? I mean, if they had Blitz as like a permanent game mode, it would allow a lot of aggressive style players to improve their skills against each other while allowing the more relaxed or newer player to chill on the normal mode. For a lot of the Fortnite mobile gamers that don't have time for a 20 to 25 minute game, this 15-minute version might be something that they desperately need or want. Number 3 is the baller removed in competitions. Ballers are by far one of the funniest and stupidest things that I've been able to play within Fortnite, tearing across the map or flying through the skies. The grapple is just something you can't help but have fun with. I mean, you're on a giant hamster ball. You're literally the water boy. If you see a build battle going on, you can just swing on in and screw around with the 2 players hoping to hit them all. The ping pong ball final circles will always be imprinted on my brain.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Esports ready, everyone.
It's a fantastic moment, but I think it was just that. It was good for the phase, and people quickly got tired of it. Fortnite did attempt to do some adjustments due to the fact that so many players were complaining, and you can honestly see why. I mean, they were all fun in games, but in reality, they were simply overpowered. I mean, even with the added updates to the shoot through the baller, and then to lower the health of its shell, and competitive and tournaments and that kind of, the baller is still making end games for professional matches a bit annoying, and most at this point simply want it out. Number 2, the drum gun to return. So by the time this video comes out, the Loot Lake timer will have countdown and will have traveled to the Nexus for our supposed unvaulting vote. Now the team here at Top 5 Gaming have been debating which item we want to see unvaulted. We've got the bounce pads, the Infinity Blade, the TAC SMG, the grappler, the planes, and the drum gun. By now, you probably all know which one it was, but was it the one you wanted? We had some on the team wanting the attack SMG, but it seems the drum gun was top voted for us. I definitely feel the sword could be good if it was adjusted, but with what I remember, I just can't get over how much fun it was to let loose produce a full drum gun magazine and how satisfying the audio for it was. One of my favorite guns. I just love that thing. The sound, how it performs, how it shoots, how it reload, everything. Number one is Siphon. It's the ability we never knew we needed until it was given and taken away from us. We'd all gotten used to spending at least 5 minutes every game smacking trees and rocks on our travels, keeping ourselves stocked. You'd always have at least 1 stack of heals, usually 2 for each type. But when they introduced Siphon, the game got a lot more interesting, although that's not according to Fortnite statistics anyway. Essentially, we were able to get 50 health and a bunch of material for each kill instantaneously. No longer did you need to tremble in fear when the 3rd or 4th parties began appearing. Usually you'd have no time to heal up and you'll slowly get drained, but with Siphon, you could turn the tables in an instant just by playing more aggressively. Plus, it made harvesting material a much less tedious task. According to Fortnite though, Siphon actually made the game less fun for a lot of players. Engagements were less frequent, and a lot of the younger and newer players could be found hiding in fear of the W-keying aggressive players that had basically turned into rampaging hulks with this Siphon ability. I can understand that, but I can't help but admit it made the game so much more fun for me. But you know, we can only hope. We can only hope. Epic Games, you know what to do. You know what it is. This is the top 5 things Fortnite Season 9 needs to have. You and Epic both know. Click the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and yeah, keep it here on Top 5 Gaming. Oh yeah, and use code T5G in the item shop and join the Discord. If you don't, Thanos will not be getting a booty expansion pack.